Zelos Games just came to a close, and now it's time to see if those scores are going to hold up on a worldwide leaderboard. So let's see what these athletes put up. To kick off the competition, athletes went face-to-face with snake eyes. 3 AMRAPs with 1 minute rest between of cows on the Echo Bike, dumbbell box step-overs, and then max ring muscle-ups in the remaining time. Let's just say athletes were less than enthused to do post-WOD interviews with me from how they felt after this one. Men and women each had 3 heats, and there were some fun dynamics on the floor. Brittany Weiss and Devin Kim took the floor together, but not as CrossFit Invictus teammates, instead individual competitors. Alex Gazan and Kyra Milligan typically trained together through underdogs at Camp Rhino, but today they were competitors. For the women, each heat gave the next heat a little carrot to chase by being just 1 ring muscle up ahead of the previous group. Christine Kohlenbrander led Heat 1 with 34 ring muscle-ups. Then in Heat 2, Alex Gazan takes her, getting 35. But it was Andrea Nisler in Heat 3 who got 36 muscle-ups right at the buzzer.
I closed my eyes for the last couple ring muscle-ups because I just couldn't. This is where I really feel like I enjoy team, because you got a teammate that can step up when you're tired. Yeah, all I had was myself.
The men also benefited by having a previous score to chase, resulting in the event winner coming from the final heat. Unlike other competitions, which reseed after every event or each day, this format is circuit style. All athletes will be in the final heat for one event, and then the last workout of the weekend, athletes will be reseeded based on ranking. In Heat 1, Team CrossFit Reykjavik's Tola Morakinho set the pace from the first round through the third, hitting 37 ring muscle-ups. New for Zelos Games, athletes were able to challenge a no rep. If the athlete disagreed with the judge's call, it goes through video review, which gives them an opportunity to get that rep back. So that's exactly what Tola did after his judge called a no rep on a ring muscle up, and to his benefit, it was approved in his favor.
It goes, I believe I hit that muscle up within the time domain. It wasn't an issue of whether or not it was like a full repetition. It was whether or not it was within the time domain. You could have done either, but there's video evidence that I have and will share at some point of this is how it's supposed to look. The whole world can see it, and he's happy. And if he weren't happy, there's video evidence showing it's hey, the right call was made on the field.
However, it wasn't enough by the time Heat 2 came along. Logan Ewing gets him by just 1 rep, completing 38. And then in the final heat, you couldn't help but dial in on Ethan Helbig, who completed 26 cals on the Echo Bike in just 21 seconds. But it was James Sprague's discipline on the rings that gave him just enough to squeeze that last rep for a total of 39 and take the event win.
Pecs are lit up, lungs are lit up, Vegas air is dry, that's for sure. Felt really good though, and super fun to kick it off with a good start.
Saturday's event ended with a full-on sprint, Royal Flush. 579 of power cleans, bar-facing burpees, thrusters, and then another set of bar-facing burpees. I thought the athletes were in pain after event 1, but after event 2, I think I saw a couple of souls just leaving their own bodies. The winner of this event, for both the men and women, was physically shaking more than 10 minutes after getting off the competition floor. Let's take a look at the men. For a couple of the heats, it really came down to burpee speed and who was willing to hurt more. But right off the bat, that title went to Pete Mason in Heat 1, who finished in roughly 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah, I always tell myself, though, the faster you go, the faster it's over. So that's one of those workouts that you just go fast and you're done quicker than everybody else. So you get more time to recover.
For the women, Andrea Nisler took the W in event 1, and it was looking like she had a good shot to do the same in event 2. Her and Solveig Sigurdardottir were close for the most part of the event, but then Nisler pulled away, setting the time to beat at 4:01. But then, if you didn't think getting sub 4 was possible, you haven't met Roarin Scott. Coming into the event, she was in last place overall, but that quickly changed. She came out hot in Heat 2, finishing round 1 in just 48 seconds. She managed to hang on to take the event win with a blistering time of 3:58.
Not doing well on workout 1 was not entirely unexpected, but it really, it definitely kind of puts a little fire in your butt, makes you want to go a little harder on the next one, so.
Day 2, the final day of competition, ended with some heavy snatches and ace of spades. Athletes were to complete 7 intervals of every 90 seconds, 30 double unders, and snatches, with weight increasing each round up to 265, 170. If athletes made it that far, they'd then have 3 minutes to find a max snatch. Today, the men started and made the weights look easy. In Heat 1, Tudor Magda hit a 22-pound PR, setting the score to be at 322 pounds, one of the heaviest snatches we've ever seen in CrossFit competition.
I just kind of went off it. I had my coach in the corner yelling at me, and I just felt good. I'm not letting this weight down. I'm just going to push it up, and it's not going down. I'm not going to miss it. So.
But with Heat 3 having Tola Moraquinho, who is notorious for putting up heavy weights in competition, the focus quickly turned to whether he could beat Tudor. Tola missed 295, shakes it off and hits it, then jumps to 325 for the event win. He then went for 330, which could have given him even more points with the Z scoring, but still solidified the event win with his 325-pound lift.
I was not planning to snatch this heavy today. Tudor put up like a really big weight in the first heat, which is nice being in the last heat today that you get to see that score. So they kind of got that advantage yesterday in the muscle up one, but yeah, I was planning on like a 315, but I kind of had to adjust and make a little bigger jumps than I wanted to, but it was fun. Yeah.
Let's now see what the ladies were able to do. The PR magic was in the air, and these athletes were here to celebrate them. Alex Gazan hit a 5-pound PR at 190. Brittany Weiss also hit a 5-pound lifetime PR, and Devin Kim put up 195 pounds for her heat win. In Heat 2, Elia Miller hits 215 for a 15-pound PR and the record thus far.
My original thought was, depending on how 170 felt, open with 190 and then maybe 200, 210. But 190 felt really good, so I went for 205. 205 felt really good, so I said, let's go for 215.
Fast forward to Heat 3, sheesh. Rose Scott puts up 217, which we thought might be the heaviest of the women for the day, but then Christine Kohlenbrander lifts 225 for the event win. The final event of the day, full house. Handstand walks, rowing, wall balls, chest to bar, toes to bar, and devil's press. For this event, the heats were restacked, saving the leaders for Heat 3 in our longest event of the weekend. For the men, the winner came out of Heat 2, but in Heat 1, Logan Ewing withdrew mid-workout due to a knee injury from the previous event during a snatch. Heat 2 was a showdown with all 4 athletes going head-to-head up until the rig work. That's where Peter Mason and James Sprague pulled away and went rep for rep until the final row. That's when Sprague stepped on the gas, flew through his handstand walks, and took the event win at 15:41. When the women took the stage for the final event, the showdown was in Heat 3. Would it be Alex Gazan or Andrea Nisler to take the final event home? Going into today, they were your overall leaders, with Gazan trailing Nisler. But once the ladies advanced to the chest to bar, Gazan stayed ahead by just 1 rep and began her pull away. But things really got interesting at the end of the workout when Gazan was on her final set of handstand walks. Just as she crossed the finish line to not just win her heat, but the entire event, she fell across the finish line, but her hands did look like they crossed before her feet went down. Her judge called the no rep, made her go back and redo the last handstand walk, but because of the challenge rule, the judges went to video review, which ultimately passed in her favor, giving her that event win. To close out the weekend of the Zelos Games, the men's podium results. James Sprague in 3rd, Tola Moraquinho in 2nd, and Tudor Magna is your overall winner. For the women, Alex Gazan in 3rd, Christine Kohlenbrander in 2nd, and Andrea Nisler on top of the podium. So if these scores look fun to you, you can still register. The first score is due on the 15th. You have up until the 21st to complete all 4 workouts, and then we'll see you on the leaderboard.